Very good. Hey, I got a chance to talk to Rob Mattacchione this morning, even off the air, CEO and board chair of a company called Novo Integrated. They are publicly traded under the stock symbol NVOS, and they are building the next generation of healthcare companies, just like their website says. And he joins us again via Zoom, and I'll tell you lots of exciting stuff happening for you guys. You know, Rob, what we didn't talk about very much was your uplisting process. You went from being a small cap bulletin board type company and went up on the big board. Talk about what that was like and what kind of I mean, was that a tough deal? Is it a nightmare to have to uplist like that? Because now you're on the big board.
Yeah, you know, Sully, it was pleasant once you completed and you got up there. The process is not exactly, like going to a spa. It's more like going to a dentist. And we got our cavities, we got everything taken care of, and the reward was getting up there. Obviously, we saw some interesting traction, and now we've been exposed to some really unique people, a higher level of sophistication in terms of the institutional side. So it was well worth the effort, but not something that I would recommend people do on a daily basis.
Well, yeah, you've been in the healthcare services and products business, specifically up in Canada, for many, many years. You've identified the need for decentralized healthcare and medical technology as a key component to the future of healthcare, and you really moved the needle in that direction. So give us a state of the union of where decentralized healthcare is in both Canada and the U.S. and even internationally, and then where's it going in the short term and long term, in your opinion?
Well, you know what? I think it's in its infancy, to be perfectly candid with you. And where it's going, it's like a child. It's going to mature, and before you know, it's going to be a full-grown individual in front of you. And this decentralization process is all thanks to the technology that's supported to us right now, to blockchain and how we manage data through that process, to the virtual aspect of it that right now is, in my opinion, archaic, but well on its way to being extremely sophisticated, by way of even introducing virtual clinics, set aside a virtual medical experience, but entire virtual clinics. So we're extremely excited to be at the forefront of all these movements, and the next 12 to 18 and 24 months are going to be really changing the landscape of this entire sector.
I just heard a report on the radio today that the adaptability or adoptability of this technology is catching on. People are like, fine.
And it makes you ask the question, even after COVID.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think people realize, I can tell you, I had a telemedicine appointment last week. Yeah. It took 15 minutes over the phone. Right. The guy I talked to, I'd filled out everything that I do a lot of stuff in advance. I mean, you have to spend about an hour at home doing stuff.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, unless you have to come see me to remove the extra rib cage bone or whatever, it's just so much. I was driving in the car down the coast.
For a healthy guy like you is good. My mom just did it yesterday, 92, to get her out of the house, dressed, out of the house, to the doctor's office. What a pain in the neck it is. And it's so much, I just love this. And I think COVID helped push the technology or the adoptability a little further along, don't you think?
Well, the other thing too is, Rob, I guess the piece of this is, I guess the real question is it here to stay regardless of COVID or not?
Yeah, in my opinion, and I think in the world's opinion, it's here to stay. Much like COVID has had an impact in every sector in terms of how things are changing. The healthcare, you can't run away from it. The points that you guys have described and Russ's really pointed example of an elderly person having to deal with, the challenges of going outside of the home. Address it, bang on. Like, you couldn't have described it any better in terms of the need for it. And this is, like I said, this is phase one. It's extremely archaic, in my opinion. And what's coming is going to be so special that you won't want to do it any other way, I'll tell you.
Well, I mean, let's just, for the example, you're on Zoom right now. And if you had the right tools that I could take my own blood pressure and shove it in the computer.
There's apps.
You could, look, there's a limit to it now, but you could literally do a physical. I mean, like 80% of a physical could be done online over the. By the way, how much more money is made in the medicine business? Because I'm not going to pay less for this. I'll probably pay more for it for the convenience, right?
Yes. Mucho.
Yes, Sully. That's bang on what you described, and that technology is there right now. It's really adopting it, commercializing it, putting it into circulation, which is exactly what we're doing. And ironically, as much as you'll pay more, you won't have to pay more. because it will create efficiency that will allow us to bring the cost down, and that will make it available to everyone, not just high rollers like you guys, right?
Yeah, sure. Said the high roller, Rob Mattacchione.
Oh, man.
Rob Mattacchione, CEO and board chair of Novo Integrated. You can go to their website, by the way. Go to novointegrated.com. And it's really interesting about the talk about decentralized healthcare. And we also, the pandemic has really highlighted your business model, because the business model was going in fact, I think that's the question to ask. And I'm assuming I know the answer. But wasn't this going here anyway, pandemic or not? Weren't we going in this direction one way or the other?
Yeah, so we definitely were. The problem was, a lot of the speech giving and the messaging that we were trying to promote was falling on 50%, 60% deaf ears, where now it's 90%, attentive and being received extremely well.
Yeah.
So it's accelerated. To Russ's point, COVID has done magnificent things in accelerating acceptance, but it was definitely going here. You weren't going to stop it.
Well, Rob, we'll see you next time, probably next week, and can't wait to get you in studio so we can get you out of Canada. Free Rob Mattacchione, I think is how we're All right.